Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Gaurav Sharma with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says farmers are playing major role in building Atmanirbhar Bharat, appeals to people to always wear a mask and maintain social distancing. President Ramnath Kovind gives assent to 3 farm bills recently passed by the Parliament. Health Minister Harsh Vardhan says government is committed to increase public health care spending to 2.5% of the GDP by 2025. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates Destination Northeast 2020 event to highlight its eco-tourism, culture and business potential. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals win the toss and chose to field against Kings 11 Punjab at Sharjah. In our special series on the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, we begin this bulletin with Bapu Ki Baat. In a speech, Mahatma Gandhi had spoken about spirituality.
There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything. I feel it, though I do not see it. It is this unseen power which makes itself felt and yet defies all proof, because it is so unlike all that I perceive through my senses. It transcends the senses, but it is possible to reason out the existence of God to a limited extent. Even in ordinary affairs, we know that people do not know who rules or why and how he rules, and yet they know that there is a power that certainly rules.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said India will become self-reliant only when the farmers and villages are empowered. In his monthly Man Ki Baat program on All India Radio today, the Prime Minister said that agricultural sector, farmers and villages are the very basis of Atmanirbhar Bharat. He said even during this period of crisis, agricultural sector has shown its resilience. He said that in the recent past, farmers have liberated themselves from many restrictions and tried to break free from many myths. Mr. Modi said farmers have the power to sell their fruits and vegetables anywhere and to anyone.
अपने फल सब्जियों को कहीं पर भी किसी को भी बेचने की ताकत है और ये ताकत ही उनकी इस प्रगति का आधार है। अब यही ताकत देश के दूसरे किसानों को भी मिली है। फल सब्जियों के लिए ही नहीं, अपने खेत में वो जो पैदा कर रहे हैं, धान, गेहूं, सरसों, गन्ना जो उगा रहे हैं, उसको अपनी इच्छा के अनुसार जहां ज्यादा दाम मिले वहीं पर बेचने की अब उनको आजादी मिल गई है.
Mr. Modi gave the example of Kanwar Chauhan from Sonipat district of Haryana. In 2014, fruits and vegetables were excluded from the APMC Act, which greatly benefited him and fellow farmers in the neighborhood. 4 years ago, he along with fellow farmers of his village formed a farmer producers organization. Mr. Modi said these farmers are earning 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees per acre annually by cultivating sweet corn and baby corn. The Prime Minister said fruits and vegetables were excluded from the purview of APMC in Maharashtra about 3 or 4 years ago. He cited Shri Swami Samarth Farm Producer Company Limited as an example of how this reform changed the state of farmers growing fruits and vegetables in Maharashtra. He gave another example of Tamil Nadu Banana Farmer Produce Company, which is a farmers' collective. The Prime Minister mentioned another group of farmers from Lucknow who named themselves Irada. During the lockdown, the two procured fruits and vegetables directly from the cultivator's field and sold directly in the markets of Lucknow. Mr. Modi spoke about Ismail Bhai from Rampura village of Banaskantha in Gujarat. Ismail Bhai had resolved that he would dispel the notion of farming being a loss-making activity. He started farming, albeit using new methods and innovative techniques. Ismail Bhai directly sells potatoes he grows to large companies and earns handsome profits as there are no middlemen. The Prime Minister emphasized that innovation is required in agriculture. He talked of Bijay Shanti of Manipur, who is in the news for her new innovation. She launched a startup to develop thread from the lotus stem. Mr. Modi said her efforts and innovations have opened new avenues in the fields of lotus farming and textile.
आज की तारीख में खेती को हम जितना आधुनिक विकल्प देंगे उतना ही वो आगे बढ़ेगी। उसमें नए नए तौर तरीके आएंगे, नए इनोवेशंस जुड़ेंगे। मणिपुर के रहने वाली विजय शांति एक नए इनोवेशन के चलते खूब चर्चा में है। उन्होंने कमल की नाल से धागा बनाने का स्टार्टअप शुरू किया है। आज उनके इनोवेशन के चलते कमल की खेती और टेक्सटाइल में एक नया ही रास्ता बन गया है।
In this corona time period, Prime Minister has once again reminded people to always wear a mask and to not venture out without a face shield. He said, "Do gaz ki duri," social distancing will protect people and their families. Mr. Modi said these few rules are the weapons in the fight against corona, a powerful resource to save the life of every citizen.
कोरोना के इस कालखंड में मैं फिर एक बार आपको याद कराऊंगा, मास्क अवश्य रखें, फेस कवर के बिना बाहर न जाएं, 2 गज की दूरी का नियम आपको भी बचा सकता है, आपके परिवार को भी बचा सकता है। ये कुछ नियम हैं, इस कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई के हथियार हैं, हर नागरिक के जीवन को बचाने के मजबूत साधन है। और हम न भूलें, जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढिलाई नहीं।
The Prime Minister talked at length about the art of storytelling and how it has always been a part of Indian culture. In every family, some elderly person used to tell stories to the younger generation and fill the house with new inspiration and energy. He highlighted the importance of telling stories with moral lessons, saying, "Where there is a soul, there is a story." Mr. Modi expressed pride that India has the tradition of Hitopadesh and Panchatantra, in which lessons on prudence and wisdom are imparted through an imaginary world of animals, birds and fairies woven into stories. He noted that India has a tradition of Katha. He said there is a very interesting style of storytelling in Tamil Nadu and Kerala called Villu Pattu. It comprises a fascinating confluence of story and music. He added that India also has had a vibrant tradition of puppetry. Mr. Modi said stories and storytelling based on science and science fiction are gaining popularity these days.
इन दिनों साइंस और साइंस फिक्शन से जुड़ी कहानियां एवं कहानी कहने की विधा लोकप्रिय हो रही है। मैं देख रहा हूं कि कई लोग किस्सा गोई की कला को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए सराहनीय पहल कर रहे हैं। मुझे gathastory.in जैसी वेबसाइट के बारे में जानकारी मिली, जिसे अमर व्यास बाकी लोगों के साथ मिलकर चलाते हैं।
The Prime Minister shared the heartwarming story of Seydou Dembele from Mali, who is also called Hindustani Babu for his love for India. He teaches English, music, painting and drawing in a public school in Kita. For the last 23 years, every Sunday afternoon, Seydou Dembele presents an hour-long radio program in Mali titled Indian Frequency on Bollywood songs and renders commentary in French as well as in Mali's lingua franca known as Bambara. His children sing the national anthem of India with great ease. The Prime Minister urged people to watch these videos and feel their love for India. Mr. Modi remembered freedom fighter Bhagat Singh, whose birth anniversary will be celebrated tomorrow. He said Bhagat Singh is an icon of courage and valor. Prime Minister Modi said that the 2nd of October is a holy and inspiring day for all. We remember Mahatma Gandhi and Lal Bahadur Shastri on this day. Mr. Modi said if the country would have been able to grasp the spirit behind economic principles of Mahatma Gandhi, the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan would not have been needed today.
पूज्य बापू के विचार और आदर्श आज पहले से कहीं ज्यादा प्रासंगिक है। महात्मा गांधी का जो आर्थिक चिंतन था, अगर उस स्पिरिट को पकड़ा गया होता, समझा गया होता, उस रास्ते पर चला गया होता, तो आज आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती। गांधी जी के आर्थिक चिंतन में भारत की नस नस की समझ थी, भारत की खुशबू थी। पूज्य बापू का जीवन हमें याद दिलाता है कि हम ये सुनिश्चित करें कि हमारा हर कार्य ऐसा हो जिससे गरीब से गरीब व्यक्ति का भला हो।
The Prime Minister also remembered Bharat Ratna Loknayak Jayaprakash, whose birth anniversary falls on the 11th of October, and Bharat Ratna Nanaji Deshmukh. Their birth anniversaries falls on the 11th of October. The Prime Minister urged people to imbibe the values enshrined by them.
The founding members of the Bangalore Storytelling Society, Aparna Atreya, interacted with Prime Minister Narendra Modi today during the Mann Ki Baat program. The Prime Minister advised her and the others to highlight stories relating to the great women and men who have made India proud. Aparna Atreya shared her joy with AIR News on speaking with the Prime Minister today and on the work done by the Storytelling Society.
India was a great storytelling nation, and today we are being given an opportunity to revive it in many modern ways, in education, in business, in entertainment, and also in health and wellness. Our Prime Minister has his heart and mind set on the well-being of the people of this nation, and that is truly transformational. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, sir. You have truly made our day.
President Ramnath Kovind today gave assent to 3 farm bills recently passed by the Parliament. The bills are Farmers' Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020, the Farmers' Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020, and the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. The Act aimed at transforming agriculture in the country and raising farmers' income. The Farmers' Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020 permits the electronic trading of farmers' produce and allows setting up of transaction platforms for facilitating direct online buying and selling of farm products. The Farmers' Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020 provides for a farming agreement prior to the production or rearing of any farm produce. A guaranteed price to be paid for the purchase of farming produce will be mentioned in such agreements. The Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020 allows the central government to regulate the supply of certain food items only under extraordinary circumstances such as war and famine. The new Act aims at creating additional trading opportunities outside the APMC market yards to help farmers get remunerative prices due to additional competition. This will supplement the existing MSP procurement system, which is providing stable income to farmers. The Act will create an ecosystem where the farmers and traders will enjoy freedom of choice of sale and purchase of agri-produce. It will open more choices for the farmer, reducing marketing costs for the farmers and help them in getting better prices. President Ramnath Kovind today gave assent to the Jammu and Kashmir Official Languages Bill 2020, which was recently passed by the Parliament. The Act makes Kashmiri, Dogri, Hindi, English and Urdu as the official languages of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Earlier, only Urdu and English were the official language for the Union Territory. According to the 2011 census, the present population of Jammu and Kashmir is over 1 crore 21 lakh. The number of people speaking Urdu in the Union Territory is very less.
National Cooperative Development Corporation (NCDC) has sanctioned the first installment funds of 19,444 crore rupees to 3 states for Kharif paddy procurement under the minimum support price operations. These states are Chhattisgarh, Haryana and Telangana. Agriculture Ministry said these amounts have been sanctioned to assist the states and state marketing federations in undertaking paddy procurement operations in a timely manner through their respective cooperative organizations. Chhattisgarh gets the highest amount to the tune of 9,000 crore rupees. Telangana has been sanctioned 5,500 crores and Haryana 5,444 crores. The minister said this proactive step by the NCDC during the COVID pandemic will give the much-needed financial support to farmers of these 3 states, who account for nearly 75% of production of paddy in the country.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says farmers are playing a major role in building Atmanirbhar Bharat, appeals to people to always wear a mask and maintain social distancing. President Ramnath Kovind gives assent to 3 farm bills recently passed by the Parliament. Health Minister Harshvardhan says government is committed to increase public health care spending to 2.5% of the GDP by 2025. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates Destination Northeast 2020 event to highlight its eco-tourism, culture and business potential. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals win the toss and choose to field against Kings 11 Punjab at Sharjah. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
All India Radio presents World News. News and views from across the globe. What happened? What is up next? The newsmakers and the highlights of the day. Every day at 10:20 p.m. in the night. On 100.1 FM, All India Radio.
The Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, today said that the government is committed to increase the public healthcare spending from the existing 1.15% of the GDP to 2.5% by 2025. He added that the 15th Finance Commission's high-level group on health has concurred that healthcare spending must be raised substantially in the next 5 years in view of the present pandemic. Dr. Harshvardhan was answering questions posed by his social media interactors on the third episode of Sunday Samvad. The minister warned people against complacency and said that masks must be used even at places of worship. He asked everyone to always raise awareness regarding COVID-appropriate behaviors and re-emphasized on the need for wearing masks. He said the pandemic can only be fought when the government and the society work together in tandem. He further cautioned that ICMR's Sero Survey report should not create a sense of complacency in people. He said the first Sero survey of May 2020 revealed that the nationwide prevalence of the novel coronavirus infection was only 0.73%. He said that ICMR's second Sero survey shows that the Indian population is still far from achieving herd immunity. Regarding the wide usage of investigational therapies such as remdesivir and plasma therapies, the Health Minister stated that the government has issued regular advisories regarding their rational usage. The private hospitals have also been advised against routine use of these investigational therapies. On the emerging evidence that the disease not only impacts our lungs but other organ systems too, especially cardiovascular and renal, the minister said that his ministry has already set up committees of experts to look into these facets of COVID-19. ICMR is also studying this subject. Dr. Harshvardhan said that states have been advised to lower the prices of COVID tests. He added that he has spoken personally to several state health ministers regarding the reduction of prices of testing in their respective states. On a question related to Atmanirbhar Bharat Yojana, Dr. Harshvardhan spoke of India's two-pronged strategy of incentivizing production and creation of common infrastructure for high-quality medicines and medical devices to make the country self-reliant. He said that the government's commitment to the North-East region is evident from its plans to massively upgrade medical colleges and other infrastructure in a phased manner.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah today virtually inaugurated Destination Northeast 2020, a four-day event to highlight the Northeast region's various potentials like eco-tourism, culture, heritage and business. Union Minister for Development of Northeastern Region Jitendra Singh and Chief Ministers of the Northeastern states participated in the event via video conferencing. During the inaugural session, the Union Home Minister said that India is incomplete without the Northeast. Mr. Shah termed the unique culture of the Northeastern region as the ornament of Indian culture.
मैंने जो खूबसूरती नॉर्थ ईस्ट के अंदर देखी है शायद ही कहीं देखने को मिल जाए और इतनी विविध भाषाएं, विविध संस्कृति और संस्कृति को नॉर्थ ईस्ट ने पूर्वोत्तर ने सजाकर संजोकर रखा है। आज भी इतने सालों की संस्कृति, इतने सालों का संगीत, इतने सालों का नृत्य, इतने सालों से बोलने जाने वाली भाषाएं, इतने संघर्ष के बाद, इतने हमलों के बाद भी जस की तस संभाल कर रखी है।
The Home Minister said government is focusing on infrastructure development in the region and in future it will be an important point of tourism in the world.
जिस प्रकार का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में बना है, न केवल भारत विश्व भर के पर्यटन का केंद्र बिंदु नॉर्थ ईस्ट नजदीक के भविष्य में बनेगा, इसका मुझे विश्वास है। इसलिए विश्व पर्यटन दिन पर आज डेस्टिनेशन नॉर्थ ईस्ट में मैं पूरे पूर्वोत्तर भारत के सभी मुख्यमंत्री और पूरी जनता को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं।
In his address, Minister of Development of the Northeastern region, Dr. Jitendra Singh said, golden age of the Northeast will begin post-COVID-19 and the region will be one of the favorite tourist and business destinations of India. He said Northeast will be the new engine of New India and the region will lead in making of New India. An array of cultural music and dance was showcased at the inaugural function for the 4-day-long online events held with the theme The Emerging Delightful Destinations. The Destination Northeast 2020 is a calendar event of the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region conceptualized with the objective of taking the Northeastern region to other parts of the country and bringing them closer together in order to strengthen national integration. India's COVID-19 recovery rate improved to an impressive 82.46% as the number of people having recuperated from the disease crossed 49 lakhs. The national caseload neared 60 lakh with 88,600 fresh infections being reported today. According to the Health Ministry, the total COVID-19 cases mounted to 59,92,532, while the death toll climbed to 94,503, with 1,124 people succumbing to the disease in a span of 24 hours. The COVID-19 case fatality rate was recorded at 1.58%. The total recoveries have surged to 49,41,627. Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his speech at the UN General Assembly. In a tweet, the WHO DG thanked Prime Minister Modi for his commitment and solidarity in fight against coronavirus pandemic. Addressing the 75th United Nations General Assembly session last evening, the Prime Minister assured that as the largest vaccine-producing country, India's vaccine production and delivery capacity will be used to help all humanity in fighting the COVID pandemic.
In Maharashtra, lives of the on-screen and behind-the-scenes artists in this field have been hit hard, with many of them rendered jobless. In this time of crisis, the Marathi theatre group in Maharashtra has come forward and extended help to these artists. We have a report from our correspondent.
Many behind-the-scenes artists such as sound system operators, managers, costume designers, hairstylists, lighting men, booking clerks have become jobless. To help them, Marathi Natak Samuha, that is Marathi Theatre Group, undertook this initiative of extending a hand of affection and trust to these people. Several leading actors, including popular Marathi film actor Prashant Damble, are members of this group. An appeal was made for help, and due to the credibility of the group, fans from home and abroad as well as well-known theatre artists came forward. Out of the funds collected, rupees 39 lakh was distributed in the last 5 months to these behind-the-scene artists. This for sure shows the love and affection of the audience for these artists. Sweetie Jane, Airnews, Mumbai.
The Tamil Nadu Health Minister Dr. C. Vijay Bhaskar has said there is no shortage of oxygen supply in the government hospitals in the state. Talking to the reporters in the Pudukkottai region today, he said over 40,000 beds in government health facilities have been integrated with high-flow oxygen cannulas for ceaseless supply of oxygen. The minister said the selection of locations for establishing the 2,000 mini-clinics as announced by the state chief minister is underway. The Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, Dharmendra Pradhan, has called for switching over to 100% clean fuels in the tourist cities. Addressing a virtual meet on the World Tourism Day today, he emphasized the need for the use of clean fuels like LNG and PNG in the vehicles used by tourists in the tourist spots. He said this will help protect the monuments besides favoring the environment. Here is a report.
The Union Minister said as India completes 75 years of independence in 2022, there is a need to focus on creating more tourist sites around the heroism of our freedom fighters. Stating the tourism industry offers unprecedented potential for employment generation and youth empowerment, the minister added that every district of our country has a historic story to share or a legend to narrate. Meanwhile, on the occasion of the World Tourism Day, Government of Odisha today launched a campaign, Odisha by Road, to encourage road travels to tourist destinations in the state. The government believes that this will boost the tourism sector and help revive the COVID-19 ravaged economy. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
Joint Entrance Examination JEE Advanced 2020 was conducted successfully today across the country. Out of total registered candidates, 96% candidates appeared for the exam. In a statement, IIT Delhi said the exams were conducted in 222 cities and over 1,000 exam centers all over the country. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has appealed to farmers' organization to withdraw their call for statewide bandh tomorrow. Speaking to media persons in Bengaluru today, he said the amendment to the APMC and Land Reforms Act are done keeping their benefit in mind. He said that the farmers' organizations holding protests tomorrow must understand that the amendments are providing freedom to them to sell their produce anywhere they wish. However, the farmers' leader, Koroburu Shantakumar, has informed that over 110 organizations related to farmers, workers and Dalits have extended support to the bandh tomorrow. More from our correspondent.
Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has said that many farmers have welcomed the amendments. Revenue Minister R. Ashoka has said that all government and private offices, buses, taxis and other services will remain operational tomorrow. He has warned of stringent action against antisocial elements found disrupting peace. However, a few goods transport, taxi and auto rickshaw unions have announced their support to the Bandh. The Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation and Bengaluru Metropolitan Transport buses will ply as usual. Metro rail services will also be available. Congress party has announced its support to the Bandh. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed in an encounter that broke out between terrorists and security forces in Sambura area in Pulwama district today. According to police, a joint team of security forces launched a cordon and search operation at Sambura area following the inputs about the presence of terrorists in the village. As the joint team approached towards the suspected spot, the terrorists fired upon them and ensued an encounter, and in retaliation 2 terrorists were killed. The identity of the slain terrorists is being ascertained. The search operation in the area was going on when reports last came in.
The former Union Minister Jaswant Singh passed away in New Delhi this morning following a prolonged illness. He was 82. The veteran BJP leader was admitted to Army's Research and Referral Hospital in Delhi on the 25th of June. After a fall at his residence 6 years ago in 2014, he had suffered a serious head injury and had slipped into coma. The President, the Vice President and the Prime Minister have expressed grief on the demise of Jaswant Singh. The Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Khoshari today launched chemo recovery kits containing Ayurvedic formulation at the Bharaj Bhavan in Mumbai. The kit has been developed by the Integrated Cancer Treatment and Research Centre of the Bharatiya Sanskriti Darshan Trust in Pune with financial assistance from the Tata Trusts. A total of over 1 lakh activities have been taken up so far by the Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan NYKS during the Poshan Mah. More than 51 lakh youth and villagers took part in these activities. The Youth Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju said the youth volunteers are continuously engaged in nation-building activities like education, health and sanitation, environment, awareness on social issues, women empowerment and civic education, amongst others. In IPL cricket, Kings 11 Punjab were 185 for 1 in 17 overs against Rajasthan Royals at Sharjah when reports last came in. Earlier, Rajasthan Royals won the toss and elected to field. Kolkata Knight Riders beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 7 wickets in Abu Dhabi last night. In tennis, a final Grand Slam of the year, the French Open got off in Paris today with many changes in place amid COVID-19 pandemic. In the women's singles, Victoria Azarenka Belarus defeated Danka Kovanic of Montenegro 6-1, 6-2 in the opening match. Former French Open champion top-seeded Simona Halep of Romania beat Spanish Sara Soares Tormo 6-4, 6-0, while Anna Carolina Schmiedlova defeated Venus Williams 6-4, 6-4 in the first round. In the men's singles, 6-seeded Alexander Zverev will take on Denis Novak, while Stanislas Wawrinka will clash with former world number 1 Andy Murray tonight. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a clear sky with a minimum temperature expected at around 23 degrees Celsius and maximum at 36 degrees. In Mumbai, there will be generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature will be around 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum could be 32 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will hover between 27 and 33 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will see partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature is expected to be around 26 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 34 degrees. In Jammu, minimum temperature will be around 21 degrees Celsius and maximum could go up to 35 degrees. The city will have mainly clear sky. Srinagar will also have a clear sky. The temperature will hover between 8 and 27 degrees Celsius. And now the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says farmers are playing major role in building Atmanirbhar Bharat, appeals to people to always wear a mask and maintain social distancing. President Ramnath Kovind gives assent to 3 farm bills recently passed by the Parliament. Health Minister Harshvardhan says government is committed to increase public health care spending to 2.5% of the GDP by 2025. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates Destination Northeast 2020 event to highlight its eco-tourism, culture and business potential. And at the end, we bring you Bapu's favorite bhajan, Vaishnava Janto, sung by Chinese singer Ho Wei.
And that is all in the evening news. Good night.